The first half of 2023 ended with interest rates above 7%. If you haven't heard the news, I'm going to be the first one to bring it to you. It is July 1st. It's a holiday weekend. It's a Saturday. But I want to be the first to tell you about what the current market is, how things look, and how we need to be positioning ourselves to navigate the market going forward. I'm Ruth Squires with eXp Realty and RES Luxury Group, and let's talk market stats. So yes, interest rates have crested above 7%. Should we be scared of that? My answer is no, and I will tell you at the end of the video some of the great strategies that we have to help you navigate that high rate and get in the best posture that you can be in to have the best results when you're buying a home. First, let's talk about our market numbers. We're currently sitting at 900 active homes for sale in Citrus County, and that is slightly a slight reduction in inventory levels from what we saw through the month of June. However, we are 42% higher year over year. So we have 42% more inventory than we had in June of 2022 when we were at 631 homes on the market. Now, while inventory levels have increased, we are still below historical averages. So there's still some room to continue to grow, and I expect that we'll see inventory levels gradually continue to increase. We ended last year above 1,000 homes active, and we've pulled back since into this 900 range that we've been in. So that's something to be mindful of. With increased inventory levels, it does create more competition. So if you're selling your home, what you're probably feeling right now is that uncertainty of how soon is it going to sell. I can tell you that our pending and closed properties are averaging 50 plus days on the market, and yet our active properties are pushing 80 days on the market. So keep that in mind as you're kind of assessing, what is your current circumstance when you're selling your home, and try to be patient. I always say there is a buyer for every home, and I wholeheartedly believe that to be true. It's just a matter of finding that buyer. Since we have more competition, since we are sitting on the home longer, or on the market longer, it is incredibly important to be deploying aggressive marketing strategies. There are so many ways to market a home, and I think the most important thing is that you're aligned with someone who's doing as much as possible to outreach and get your home in front of the right people with the right presentation. So make sure you're talking with your agent about those strategies, and when you're hiring an agent, you're asking those questions, you're understanding what they're going to do, because it is critically important in this market environment. So with interest rates where they are, the prediction is still that they will correct some point in the near term. I'm not sure if we're gonna actually see that this year now. That's what had been predicted, but there should be a correction coming. So what do you do to get through the period from now until that interest rate correction happens? And there's some really good tools that you can use. So the first one I would say is what we've been talking about, where you can negotiate with the seller to pay down points so that your rate can be as low as possible as you start into your new loan. And that gives you a couple of years of lower rates, so that at the point in time when rates do come down, you can refinance. So that's one strategy. And with more competition, longer term periods on the market, it's more likely that sellers are receptive to doing that sort of thing. Another thing to be watching is we're seeing more and more options for owner financing. And that is really a tool for a seller to say, look, I want my property to stand out above and beyond all else. And so I want the consumers to know that I will provide a short-term financing period. And that can allow you as a buyer to name an interest rate. Sellers may be very flexible on the rates that they will allow depending upon the overall terms and circumstances. So that's another strategy that you want to be aware of. And finally, one that I think is really interesting as well is looking for homes that have assignable VA loans. So if that property has a VA loan, that loan is assignable. If the seller's willing to assign it to you, you can take advantage of the interest rate that they have currently on their home. That could be 2.5%. It could be, a great rate from the rates we had previously seen, and now you have the opportunity to take over and have that rate. So that's another really fun one. And if you come to us, we are happy to seek out any properties that we can identify for you that they have VA loans existing on them, and that those might be opportunities to do that. So some fun things we can do. We love to strategize with you. The overall theme I want to leave you with is do not be afraid of this market. The Consumer Confidence Index report came out this past week, and confidence levels in our country are at highs. The highest they've been since January of 2022. So people are feeling good. The overall perspective is positive, and I want you to keep a positive mindset as well. We are here to help. If you're ever feeling uncomfortable or just want to talk strategy, please give us a call, 352-794-1426. Have a very happy 4th of July holiday, and I'll see you next month.